Good morning. This is Kathy Zerler here in Southwest Michigan on another beautiful day with gentle, restorative Hatha Yoga. And those words combined, especially Hatha in the elite Sanskrit language, mean union. And so as we begin our practice today, we will be focused on the union of our breath, our bodies, and our brains. Spirit, mind, and body, with spirit being at the very top. The most important part of any health program is having an attitude that it will work, and then doing what needs to happen to make better health a part of our lives. And so everyone, welcome. Let's lie down in rest pose and begin. I'm lying on my back in corpse pose, full out supine, looking up at the sky. If this is not the right rest pose for you, move into something else, such as bending your knees, putting your feet at the edges of the width of your mat, and allowing your knees to fall together. This will take any pressure off your lower back. Or another one is reclining cobbler with the soles of your feet together and your knees out in a froggy position. So whatever position feels better for you right now, and this changes from moment to moment almost, then move. Always feel free to move and do the right things for yourself. Roll back your shoulders, settle in, and begin to breathe slower, deeper, right out from the belly. So as we inhale, notice your belly expanding. And on the exhale, contract the low abdominal core, the TDA muscles. Pull those in to expel as much CO2 as you can. And it's recommended to exhale longer than you inhale, just to do that. Inhaling, healing oxygen, and then expelling things that we do not need. And so breathe deeply, filling up your body with breath of life. As you continue to breathe, begin to move your head from side to side, warming up your neck. Moving slowly, mindfully, which means literally watching what you're doing with your mind's eye. And so keep your focus on yourself. This is your yoga. This is meant for your better health. The next time you come to center, take a moment. Again, check your shoulders. We want to be squarely on our shoulders to protect our neck. And then turn your head to one side and go up to your range of motion on this side. Breathe into your neck. Breathe back to center. Turn your head the other way, going up to, but never through your range of motion. Breathe back to center. Turn the other way. Hold it at your range of motion, your personal limit, your edge. This particular move is great for people that spend a lot of time on computers. And you can do this seated in a chair. You can do it standing up. You can do it lying down. Breathe back to the center. And last time, go the other direction and hold. Breathe back to center. One more time. Check your shoulders. You want to feel a small engagement in the scapula. And then lift up the arms just off the mat. Hold the weight of your arms. So you are weightlifting now with the weight of your own body. Breathe into your shoulders. They're holding most of the weight. Send healing oxygen into the shoulders. While we're here, engage the low core, pulling in the abs, squeezing the hips and glutes. Notice the quadriceps, they jump right in because they're there, even though they're not part of the core. We call these muscles core strength. These are the biggest muscles in the body. All at once, release everything. Drop it. Notice. There's some energy flowing into your arms in particular, but into your entire body in general. Let's do that again. Lift your arms just up off the mat. Hold the weight. Squeeze the core, the low core, and hold it. Once again, this can be done sitting in a chair or standing up. Breathe as you hold. The one thing we do not do in yoga is hold our breath. All at once, let everything release. Drop it. Traveling down now to the low core. Let's squeeze that all together now. Some of you might know this as a Kegel exercise. Squeeze it all together like you're holding everything in. And you're holding everything down there, but not the breath. Keep breathing. The breath is the link in yoga between our minds and our bodies. So we connect our minds and our bodies with our breath. All at once, release. The muscles we just worked are the ones that protect our lower back. So let's lift up our right leg just off the mat and squeeze the low core, protecting our low back from the weight of one leg. Breathe and hold. Remember that you're very close to the mat because in a moment, we're going to be dropping this weight. So you don't want to drop it from a height. You want to drop it from just off the mat. That distance is enough to hold the entire weight of your leg. All at once, let everything go. Drop it. Take a breath. Any time in this practice that you feel like you'd like to take a longer, slower breath, do that. Lift up the left leg just off the mat and squeeze the core. Squeeze it. Kind of a combination where you lift a little bit before you get to any real tension point, and then you begin to squeeze the lower core, protecting our lower back. All at once, drop it. Take a breath. Bend the right knee now. Bring the right leg up close, placing both hands behind the knee to protect the knee joint. So the hands behind the knee help us not to overflex our knee joint. As you begin to massage the body on the side where your leg is moving against it. And notice your low back. When you pull your leg in, you're also getting a back massage. And you are doing it all yourself. We have everything we need to take better care of ourselves. Lift up your right leg. Place both hands palms down on the TVA muscle. Bring the leg back just as far as you're able to. Keep the knees soft. And then pointing the foot, gently and slowly, mindfully lower the leg almost to the floor. Breathing as you move slowly. When you arrive almost at the floor, flex your foot and bring it up, just as slowly. Keep going at your own pace, pointing down, flexing up. Keeping your mind on what you are doing and breathing. The next time we come close to the floor, and there's absolutely no hurry, take your time. When you get almost to the floor, drop that leg. Notice the energy that you've created. Let everything go. Take a moment in this peaceful release, because it is tension plus release that equals healing. So that means if we find ourselves under stress, which we always are unless we're not in this body anymore, then we need to be aware of it and let it go as soon as we're able to. Change our position, breathe into it, consciously let go and rest, but keep a balance there between stress and release. Bend the left leg. Bring that knee up, both hands behind the knee. Once again, protecting the knee from overflexion. As you massage the left side of your core, all the involuntary muscles and organs, they love this. This is actually an exercise that's recommended for digestive tract issues, such as constipation or diarrhea or having trouble digesting food. This is one of those wonderful, certainly most non-invasive poses that can heal. Bring the leg up, place the hands on the TVA muscles, squeeze those muscles as you bring the leg back as close as you can to your torso, and then point and very slowly lower the left leg using the core muscles as you move almost to the floor. And when you arrive almost to the floor, flex and bring it up. Slowly, mindfully, moving as slow as you're able to. So we are, as we point down and flex up, exerting in both directions. If we were in a weightlifting class, they would tell you to exhale on the exertion. Here, we are exerting in both directions. If you would like to match your breath to the movement, you certainly may do that. But it's not necessary as long as you are breathing and noticing what's happening and how it feels to you. Having said that, if anything, I suggest, and I am your leader, your teacher, I am not the boss of you. And the next time you come close to the mat, release. It's up to you to release whenever you want to. Let everything go. You can wait for a moment for the next pose, or you can join back in when you are ready. Bend both knees now and bring them up close to your body. One hand behind each knee. Roll on your back. Noticing, releasing, stimulating blood flow around your spine, relaxing. Bring both legs up in the air now. Once again, hands on the low abs. Your elbows probably are on the floor, and they're giving you some stability. As you look at your feet, and then point both feet. Push your toes up toward the sky. It's a beautiful day here in Southwest Michigan. The sky is blue, the trees are leafing out, buds are coming on the flowers. We have much to be grateful for. Soften, gently flex. Feel the backs of your legs with this flexion as you press your heels up toward the sky. In this practice, we will work very gently, mindfully, restoratively, every body part. Soften. Press the sides of your big toes together. Squeeze your inner thighs. Breathe and notice. Soften and breathe. Release. Press the sides of your heels together and squeeze your glutes. Notice. Release that. And now bending your elbows, open up your legs in a big V and allow the outsides of your legs to rest on your hands. And now let your core open up, your center. Feel the stretch in the inner thighs and begin to rotate the ankles. First in one direction. Nice and slow. Think about all the weight our feet carry every single day. Feet are a metaphor for the opposite direction. And now, think about those tiny bones, your ankle bones, your foot bones, the metatarsals. All of those tiny bones holding all of our weight. They're amazing. You are amazing. And now, coming back to your stretch, with your feet stopped, you're not moving your feet now. Turn your feet out, pronate, and point your feet. So you're getting a little bit different stretch. You haven't really gone much farther, but you're moving slightly different muscles. Soften here, flex your feet, and turn your feet in, supinate. Feel the difference. It's subtle, but it's there. Watch what you're doing. Release, bring the legs in, bring the feet to the floor. Arms by your sides for stability. We're going into the bridge pose. So roll back your shoulders once again. The weight here will be on your shoulders and your feet. So before we start, just lift up your hips and make sure there's no pressure on your neck. Safety first, always. And mindfulness, I cannot tell you how much it will help. It will help you in every single thing you do in your lives. Let down the hips, and now checking your shoulders once again. Lift them up, pelvic tilt, roll up into your bridge. And so rock up onto the shoulders. Find that place where your body is a plank. And if you're not sure, arch your back and squeeze your hips, and then begin to release the muscles around this so that you're only using the muscles you need to hold your bridge. Breathe and notice. There are so many benefits to every yoga pose when they're done right, which means when you are doing them correctly for yourself. So if I suggest anything that you do not think you should do, then you do not do it. You do something else or something close, or you just rest and wait a moment until the next pose. And so now, Slowly release, allowing your spine to meet the mat, one vertebrae at a time, and then begin to rock your pelvis forward and back. When you go forward toward the feet, feel the length. When you come up toward the head, squeeze it. Notice the release when you release toward the feet, and notice the tension when you contract the TVA muscles as you squeeze and come forward. Relax again. Check your shoulders. I can't say that often enough either, just because we move a little bit in every pose, and we're meant to move. We're not robots. We're not meant to stay in a stationary position. And when you're ready, pelvic tilt, roll up slowly into your bridge as you rock up onto your shoulders, arch your back, squeeze your hips, and then begin to systematically and mindfully release anything you don't need to hold this pose. You and around you. What type of water is under your bridge? Clear and calm? Muddy and swirling? What's going on with you? Let's roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. When your back touches the mat, begin to gently rock back and forth, squeezing the abs when it is appropriate. And then stop for a moment and rest. Let everything melt as much as possible. And let's go into one more bridge. Pelvic tilt, roll it up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Rolling up onto those shoulders, arching, squeezing, and then releasing. We're saving energy by releasing the muscles we don't need to use, either on the mat and also especially off the mat. What we're doing in yoga is helping us to have better health so that we can do our work better. Whatever it is our purpose in life, whatever path you are on, this yoga will help you be healthier and more peaceful, calmer, help you to make better decisions. Roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And the other part of this is, as we bring our knees up, one hand behind each knee and roll on our back, the other part of this is, even when we're distracted, when we practice, our bodies will remember, because we have muscle memory, cell memory, and it will remember and at least give us a fighting chance, let's say, if we trip, not to fall, because our muscle memory will kick in and keep us safer. Put the feet on the mat again. Roll on to one side, using your elbow and the other hand to press yourself up safely to a seated position. This protects the low back. And stretch out. Stretch your legs forward. Roll your shoulders back. Look at your feet and point your feet. Sit up tall. Soften, flex your feet. Push through the heels. Soften and point. Bring up your knees. Roll onto your hands and knees for the table. And in the table, arms are straight down from the shoulders, knees are straight down from the hips. Your back is straight. Your neck is lined up with your spine as we soften and begin the cat table cow. Tuck your chin for the cat stretch. Arch your belly up toward the mat. Up toward the sky, rather. And then release to the mat. And sway into the sway back cow. Now arching your back toward the mat and looking up. So we're flexing in both directions. Come back to the table. This is center, so think center. Arch up into the cat stretch, like a fraidy cat on Halloween. Draw your belly up as if you're trying to pull your belly button up through your spine. Release back to the table. Sway into the cow. Come back to the table. And let's begin to flow now. Flowing up to the cat, releasing to the table, flowing into the cow, coming back to the table, flowing up into the cat, come to the table, last time, flow into the cow, and come back to the table. Move your hands now to the edges of the width of your mat. Move your feet to the edges of the width of your mat, curling under your toes. Press up to downward facing dog. Down dog, your head is hanging between the arms. Our heads weigh an average of 10 pounds. Shake your head yes, stimulating the crystals that might be gathering in your skull and could cause dizziness. Press your hips and arch your belly toward the mat. Walk your hands and feet together, forward bend. Coming up slowly. Bringing up your head, notice the blood flowing back toward your brain, from your brain toward your heart. As you roll back. Forward bend, elbows in. Sit way back. Fold in half and touch the mat. Shake your head yes. Tucking the chin now, roll up, one beautiful bone at a time. Coming up slowly. Coming up, your head comes up, blood flows back toward your heart, shoulders roll back, sweep up, lift up into extended mountain. Soften here and release. Forward bend. Come down slowly. Hang out. Shake your head yes. Tucking the chin, pull in the belly, and roll up very slowly. Bone by beautiful bone. As you come up, again, notice the blood flow. Shoulders roll back, sweep up, lift up, lengthen, lift up the toes, widen the fingers, then relax the toes and look up and arch your back. Bring up your head, release the arms, roll your shoulders back. Forward bend, elbows in, sit way back, knees above the feet is a very important part of this as you fold in half. Shake your head, yes. Tucking the chin, roll it up. One beautiful bone at a time. Pulling in the belly. Stacking the spine, one vertebrae on top of the next. Shoulders roll back. Sweep up. Lift up. Soften right here and release. Let's do some windmill breathing now from the mountain. So the mountain pose, legs are straight down from the hips. Shoulders are back, chin is back, arms are at your sides. Let's sweep up, breathing up, breathing down. If you'd like to exhale up and inhale down, or vice versa, you can do that. Matching your breath to the movement is often recommended to help keep focus. But if it becomes a distraction or makes you confused, just allow yourself to breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Filling up your body with healing oxygen and expelling CO2. And stop and roll back your shoulders. From here, look at your feet in your mountain. You want your feet ahead, straight ahead, and you want your shoulders back. You're in a tall spine. This is the single best thing you can do for a healthy spine, posture. Soften the knees and begin to sway from side to side. Swaying from the waist, turning the top of your body, noticing how good it feels. Coming back to center, shoulders back, forward bend, elbows in, sit way back, bend the knees, fold in half, touch the floor, hang out. Begin to roll up, again, touching the chin, pulling in the belly, stacking the vertebrae, rolling back the shoulders, noticing. It's such a simple pose, and yet look at all the things that are happening. Breathe up, extended mountain. Lift up, widen the fingers, lift up the toes. Soften right here, put your toes down, arch your back and look up. Bring up your head, release the arms. Hands on the waist, soft knees. Twist to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Notice the spine, the neck, the waist, the shoulders, all flexing together. Come back to center. Take a moment to say center to yourself, because acknowledging center helps remind our cells and our bodies of the value of center. Twist to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Breathing in to the flex. This is a wonderful pose for golfers and people who drive cars. When we change lanes, we might need to check that blind spot. Come back to center. Those geese overhead are honking encouragement to each other. That's what geese do. When they fly somewhere in a bee, the front goose is breaking the wind for everybody else. And when that goose gets tired, that goose comes to the back and another one steps up. And during the entire time, the ones that are not in front are honking encouragement to their leader. What a concept. I think that's what we should do to our leaders. Honk encouragement to our leaders. Twist to the right. Looking over the right shoulder, finding your edge in this flex. Come back to center. Last time to the left. Come back to center. And let's release, relax, roll, and let's sit down. Coming down to the mat. Come into staff pose and roll your shoulders. I have a little fly issue here if you're wondering why I'm doing some of this. Come, bring the arms out parallel to the floor, bring them back, pat the air. Small movements, palms are down. They're little biting flies. Soften, palms up, small movement. Moving the shoulders, but the arms are moving too. The shoulders are doing the work, even though the arms are moving. Once again, palms down, small movements. And once again, palms up. Notice the difference. Bring the arms up overhead, fold your hands, turn your palms up toward the ceiling. Bring back the chin, arch your back, point the feet. Feel the strength in this long, strong L shape your body is in. Soften right here and make a steeple. Touch your thumbs and gently look up at the inside of your hands. Bring up your head. Come down into prayer pose. And as you come into prayer pose, apply gentle acupressure in the center of your chest. Let your arms be relaxed by your sides and bow your head. So these movements, these physical movements, help alleviate any dizziness you might have. If you're unable to sit down when you become dizzy, or if you become dizzy, then this gentle acupressure in the xiphoid process, combined with the chin tuck, will help. Take a moment for yourself now as you set an intention for the day ahead. What do you want? What do you need? What path are you on, and how is that path working for you? Bring your arms up overhead. Extend back to parallel. Small circles backwards. Rotate those shoulders. Sit tall. Stop. Small circles the other direction. The shoulders are amazing. The rotator cuffs, the movement up and down, the movement out to the sides, the movement back to center. Amazing anatomy. Let's release. And roll. Let's bring our arms up into goal pose, small movements. Bring the chin back. Let's stop here. Come into scarecrow, small movements. And swing your elbows. And release. And now we're going to do a little bit more spinal flexion on the mat. We've warmed up already. And so extend your legs out into staff pose. Roll back your shoulders. Bend the right knee. Bring the right foot to the outside of the left knee. Right arm to the inside of the right leg. And then your left arm comes back behind you as you twist to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Find your edge. Find your edge by pointing the left foot, arching your back. I've got a huge flock of geese overhead. Listen to them. They're saying to their leaders, you're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing with all the resources you have. listening and observing to all the science and all the information that we all can find. Continue to do this stretch. I love that concept of the geese and the honking and the encouragement. And did you know that if one goose becomes weakened, there will be another 1 or 2 geese that will stay with that goose until it's ready to join the flock. So they don't abandon the weak. They're a great example. Soften a little bit in place now. Let yourself relax and see if you can find a better place. And then return to the stretch. Return to the flex, looking over the right or left shoulder, pointing the left foot, arching your back, lifting your chin, and then settling into that sweet spot. So when we do the movements that get us up to our edge, then we can begin to back off. We're not actually sagging. We don't want to sag. We want to stay in alignment. Even in a pose like this, we have alignment. But we want to minimize the muscle groups that we are using. Use what we need. Let go. Soften back to center. Uncross. Check your seat. You want to have that fleshy part back so your sits bones, your ischial tuberosities are on the mat. And then gently fold forward. Roll up. Bring your hands behind you. Lift up the weight of your body. You only have to go this far, but if you would like to, you can point your feet and make your body into a plank. And you can also allow your head to come back behind you and arch your back. This is an upward facing plank with variations. Come up slowly, taking care to control the head. Come back down. In yoga, there's always variations. I've been teaching now for about 20 years, and I know a lot of variations, but you know your own body well. And so you are the one that can make the variations that you need. And I can help you anytime. You're all welcome to email me anytime you have a question. Bend the left knee. Put the left foot on the outside of the right knee, sitting tall. Bring the left arm to the inside of the left leg. Sweep the right arm back. Arch your back. Look up. Breathe, arch. Point the right foot. Lift your chin. And settle in. Find that sweet spot that's in every pose. Soften a little, let yourself move, and see if there's a better place. Arch again. Lift the chin, point the foot. Soften and breathe back to center. Unwind. Check your seat. Seated forward bend. Roll up. Hands behind the hips. Lift up into an upward facing plank, whichever variation you want. Hold up the weight of your body. Again, we're weightlifting. We have all we need. Bring up your head. Come back down. Shake out your wrists. Take a moment at center to rest. Recall your intention. And then let's bend the knees. Come up to your hands and knees, and then to a crouch. And roll up safely, protecting the low back. Now, coming into the mountain again, let's sit back in our chairs. Sit way back, knees above the feet, behind you. And when you're solid on the mat, feeling like you're very grounded, bring your arms up. Keep your neck lined up with your spine. Your arms can be up in an open angle, or you can come down, if it feels better, into a 90-degree angle. And let's release, forward bend. And roll up again, bone by bone, tucking the chin. Rolling back the shoulders. Sit back in our chairs. So, knees above the feet. Behind is behind you. Stabilize your lower body into the seat of your chair and bring your arms up. As you reach forward and push back. Forward with the fingers, backwards with the hips. Breathe into this chair. Hold it here. Release, forward bend. Roll it up, bone by beautiful bone. Coming back up slowly, rolling back the shoulders. And let's step out now into tripod. So we're going not full out like we would maybe if we were in a warrior sequence, but enough so that you can recognize that it is a triangle. One leg, the other leg, and both arms together, both hands together on the floor. Bend your knees, the arms become the third part of the tripod. Your head now is hanging between your arms. Walk both hands over to the right foot, left hand on the mat, right arm up in the air as you look up, look down, right arm down, walk back to center, both hands to the left foot, right hand on the mat, sweep up the left arm, look up, everything's working together. Look down, left arm down, walk back to center. Just imagine center. Both hands to the right foot, left hand on the mat. Sweep the right arm up, look down, right arm down, walk back to center. Both hands to the left foot, right hand on the mat. Last time, left arm up, flex and look up. Continue that flex as you look down, left arm down, come back to center. Come to your hands and knees, and then stretch out on the mat into Sphinx pose. So, you are looking forward like a Sphinx. Your hands, your forearms are on the mat. Make space between the ears and the shoulders and point both feet. So you lift the feet up just a little. Notice the arch in your back. Lower the feet and lower your upper body and rest your head on your hands. Take a moment, remembering that tension and release equals healing. Let everything melt. Bring up your head and turn your head the other direction. resting your hand that way, your head that way, allowing yourself to melt once again. Let everything go. Push up now to the Sphinx. So notice that the release is actually a huge skill to develop. I think of it as the power naps of the past. So make space between the ears and the shoulders, and it's just you releasing when you've been in tension, when you've been doing some stressful work or whatever. You take a moment, take a breath, and you release. So working your Sphinx pose, bring up your feet, keep the knees on the mat, make space, look straight ahead, and smile. Lift up your lips in a smile that's only for you. But I'll tell you what, when you share it, your whole body knows it, and everybody around you knows it. Smiles are very powerful. Come back down. Push up. Let's sit down. Get on those sits bones, bend the knees. We're going to rock into our boat. So our boat is here, the V. Our legs are straight, or you know, our calves are parallel, so our knees are straight out there. And your arms can be here, or you can have them across your chest, or you can fold your hands together. Or if this is too hard, you can hold the back of your legs. Which I got off now. You can hold the back of your legs. Find your boat. Come back down. Take a moment to rest. Find your posture. Check your seat. And roll into your next boat. And come down. Roll back onto your mat. Bring both hands up overhead behind you on the floor and press through the fingers and the toes. And notice. Notice your length and the strength of this pose and what you've created. Bring your arms up toward the sky. Reach without lifting your shoulders. Well, your shoulders move, but you don't let your back come up off the mat. You keep your skull safely on the mat. Reach for the sky. Fold your hands. Bring your palms up toward the ceiling. Soften. Bring your hands into prayer pose. Recall your intention, which means keep focused on your goal. Have goals. Reach them as well as you're able to. Keeping sight of your own career. Finding the good in everyone you meet. Noticing that goodness within yourself. Be nice to yourself. You are your own best friend. Let's come into rest pose now. And begin to breathe and release and soften. This is the part of yoga that is called Shavasana. It is the part when we integrate our spirits, minds, and bodies all into one. Yoga is the union of our parts, our spirits, represented by breath, our minds, and our bodies, all coming together as one. And let's take that a little farther here as we rest and relax and think about those flocks of geese that just flew overhead here in Southwest Michigan, heading north. A huge flock, and all of them honking encouragement to their leaders. And they take turns being leaders, which I think is wonderfully important, because then people truly get to know what is going on with both sides. It's important to have empathy. It's important to cooperate and collaborate and communicate as well as we can. I'm recalling now a George Bernard Shaw quote where he said, communication, he said the problem with communication. The problem with communication is the illusion that it exists. So we need to be so very, very mindful about our communications. Check and recheck. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and if you make a mistake, apologize for it, admit it, and move on. Be as clear and concise as you can, and learn the value of listening to others. Everyone has a story to tell. Everyone belongs here. Everyone is here for a reason. All of the people in your lives. Blessings and lessons. As we begin to close our class for today, bring your hands into prayer pose, reclining prayer pose. Let the sides of your thumbs rest on the xiphoid process, and the sides of your arms rest on your ribs. And breathe in goodness. I would invite you all to stay on your own mats for a little bit longer after we end this session, and allow yourself to notice how peaceful you feel. And we say a word from Sanskrit again. It's called Namaste, and that's how we close our classes traditionally. The word, we don't have a word like this in English. It literally means, I see your Holy Spirit, and I see mine. And you see yours, and you see my Holy Spirit. And we look for those good things in everyone we meet. And so we close by saying together, Namaste. And make it a healthy day. This is Kathy Zerler, wishing you a healthy, happy day.